Chat, did Bubbly win the sparkling water battle? It feels like it was a few years ago. There was Aha and Bubbly. I feel like I haven't seen Aha in a long time. I feel like, it's true, I forgot about LaCroix, but I definitely feel like LaCroix got outcompeted up here, man. It's still around, but it's been relegated to like the organic, vegetarian, local food section that you peruse a little bit. It might be a place where you buy like one can of soda, but you're never going to get a case there because a case is like 4 times the price of the cases that are in the drink aisle. You might occasionally be like, oh, let's see what kind of soda they're cooking up in Vancouver, but I'm not paying $4.99 a can on the regular. That's insane. When the soda comes out sizzling. When the soda comes out sizzling. Lone Star, Texas Grill, Kingston, Ontario. 4.1 out of 5. That ain't too bad. Sort by lowest. Lowest rating. None of them say I wanted to get sizzling fajitas, but I couldn't get them because I lived upstairs. Or I was seated upstairs. I guess you don't live there. Worst restaurant service we've ever had. We did a pickup order. They forgot an item. They did call to tell me they forgot, but I spent 30 minutes on the phone total waiting to get a manager for a refund. The manager was rude. The food was disgusting. No disrespect. That's crazy if it's your worst restaurant service ever. That's not good, and I could understand why you would want to give it a 1 star. But that being the worst restaurant experience you've ever had is crazy. Went there for my wife's milestone. You know it's bad because they keep naming the servers. They don't go our server. They put her name in like half of the reviews. They're putting her on blast. Went there for my wife's milestone birthday tonight. Every birthday kind of a milestone when you think about it, but I understand she's probably turning 50 or 60. Fair enough. And made sure Peaches, our lackluster and spacey server, whom we repeatedly needed to make the same request for, napkins, box, etc., twice or more in order to get her to recall it. The place wasn't busy at all, yet she simply brought us the bill with zero acknowledgement of the occasion. The food was fine, but this sort of service I can promise I'll never be returning. Update, it's been a week. Not only have we gotten squat, but when I called the restaurant to follow up, the male manager, Don, spelled D-A-W-N, had no clue of any incident as we documented, and obviously nothing done to atone for this unacceptable service. Does the keg still make fajitas? I won't be returning here, that's for sure. They're getting mogged by a man named Don, dude. One complaint, the chicken fajitas. Let me further explain. The chicken dry as the Sahara Desert. The rice was not any better. The flour tortilla dry, yet powdered. Price high as the sky. Have to ask yourself why. Food, 2 out of 5. Service, 4 out of 5. Atmosphere, 2 out of 5. Total score, 1 out of 5. All right, GameSpot. Doesn't make any damn sense because people aren't using the whole scale, man. Holy shit. I learned a lesson about Lone Star today. Never take a group. They were completely inefficient. The management didn't care. The staff seemed distracted. We arranged dinner for a group of 100 people over the past few months. Holy cow. Table for 100, please. They made us pre-order the food. Well, once we got there, it was like they never heard of us. Eventually the food came out. The fajitas were hot. When the fajitas come out sizzling, almost every other food was served cold because they made us wait so long. People ate it anyway. That's very gracious. First time I've ever had a bad experience at Lone Star. When I tried to talk to the manager, he explained how it's my fault for bringing so many people. Live and learn. Just learned a very valuable lesson. Don't walk into the restaurant and ask for a table for 100. I feel like the manager was probably in the right on that one. They had a reservation, to be fair. I'm freaking out because multiple people seem to mention that the manager's name is Hombre, which for a Mexican restaurant in Canada just doesn't seem like that could possibly be true. It just seems crazy. I love this one that's all ... Hi ... We just arrived home from supper at the Lone Star. 72-year-old Canadian spotted. We just arrived home from supper at the Lone Star ... My parents came from out of town and took myself and my son out for my birthday dinner. Sat at the bar while we waited for our table ... Bartender was great and he was personable, ... Waitress was good as well, ... But when we were served our supper, our fajitas were not sizzling hot. The chicken was moderately warm. My mother and son's plate were both lukewarm at best. The manager came over, ... Fixed the cold fries situation quite quickly, ... Took our fajita chicken fixins, reheated them, and then reserved the same food, but at least hot this time. By this point, we'd been there for 2 hours. I'm so disappointed in my birthday dinner tonight. The server should have caught that the fajitas were not sizzling when being served. Very disappointed. Hardcore Gamer 101, thank you for your feedback. We appreciate it. My 2025 New Year's resolution was to leave more Google reviews with substance. I have over 50,000 views on my reviews. That is kind of sick, to be honest. I mean, I think leaving reviews is good. We need more people to leave reviews for average experiences. Because there's only 2 kinds of reviews. One is like, I had a horrible experience. And then the other one is, the dentist office leaned on me when I left to put a review on Google. We're a local business. If you scan this QR code, you can leave us a review on Google instead. And maybe you get like 10% off your bill or something like that. So it's always like 5 stars. It needs an asterisk. That was like, I received compensation for this review. If your restaurant review includes the word parking, your phone should immediately get so hot you drop it. I sometimes, I wouldn't put it in the review of the restaurant. But listen, it's heavy is the head that wears the crown. And as the guy doing the driving, first thing I think of when we pick a restaurant is, where am I going to park? And sometimes there's a parking lot, and that's easy. And sometimes there's like ample street parking. Sometimes I'm like, shit. This place is in Yaletown, man. Where the hell am I going to park? Park on the other side, take the damn aqua bus or something like that? That's like 16 extra bucks on top of the bill. Not the restaurant's fault. Me, when I explain to you that the restaurant chooses the location, get a cargo bike. Taking my wife to her omakase birthday dinner on our cargo bike, our tandem cargo bike in the rainiest city in North America, greater than sign. Dementia settling in, Unc? I don't think so. I still know where I am. I still know who you are. Can still remember. I watched a movie from the 90s on the bike today. I watched But I'm a Cheerleader. I'm going to say 3.5 stars and a heart. And my review, which I already placed on Letterboxd, is I finally understand why people GAF about Natasha Lyonne. For a while, I was like, I don't really understand why Natasha Lyonne is like the internet's favorite sister, at least until she started the AI animated movie company. I thought it was because she went, Tuesday, what a concept, or something like that. I thought she was kind of like Keanu Reeves for like Redditors who happen to be women or something like that. But then when I watched the movie, I was like, I get it now. I totally understand. RuPaul wearing the straight is great shirt. RuPaul saying, I'm an ex-gay or something like that. What movie did I watch? Let me get the Hobonichi Tekko out. What movie did I watch recently where I was like, I like this movie better when it was 10 Cloverfield Lane? Give me a second here. Begonia. I like Begonia. But I did think Begonia was like 10 Cloverfield Lane, but maybe 12.5% worse. While Antarctica has the most penguin species in the world, this oceanic country is home to the greatest variety of penguin species. This is going to be funny. How could it not be New Zealand? Okay. I'm so glad they put oceanic, because if it weren't for the fact that they put that word in there, I probably would have said like Chile or something like that. This is Nicolas Cage and Jesse Eisenberg, but this is like the least insane face mashup. This actually looks like a real dude. It does kind of look like Dan's Big Brother 14 picture. Not as nice as, not as handsome as Dan looks, to be honest, but it has that same sort of vibe to it. Not the red shirt, but the black shirt, Dan. That might be 2010 now that I think about it. That's Dwight Eisenhower. There you go. I'm a growing boy. You're old. Are you growing because you're young, or are you just getting bigger? Speaking of which, I found this out in an Isaac episode. This is a horrifying moment. Did you know that they didn't call the movie The Whale because he's a big guy? Did you know that they call the movie The Whale because they're studying Moby Dick in the movie? For 5 years since the movie came out, I thought they called it The Whale because Brendan Fraser was a large man in the movie. So imagine me being like, saying something like, that's why they call it The Whale. And then people educating me and being like, no, they didn't call it The Whale because Brendan Fraser is fat in the movie. They called it The Whale because they're studying Moby Dick. Made me look like a fucking asshole, man. Made me look like a complete dickhead. But like, they knew what they were doing, I guess is what I'm trying. This is what I'm trying to say. You think they did that after? You think they put Moby Dick in the movie because Darren Aronofsky was like, well, I gotta call it The Whale, but I don't want people to be mad at me. Originally, they were gonna study like, think of a book. Oh fuck, The Catcher in the Rye. You know what I noticed watching But I'm a Cheerleader today? Bildungsromans go harder. Not harder, but they feel different to watch after your Roman's already been bildunged. I watched a lot of Bildungsromans when my Roman was still being built. Now that my Romans have been dunged, the movies take on a different sort of light. Sometimes positive, sometimes negative, sometimes just different. What are you saying? Oh, you don't know what a coming-of-age movie is called? They're called Bildungsromans. Are you a real movie watcher again? I'd say so. I put like 82 to 93 minute long movies on my watch list so that I don't have to spend 8 minutes scrolling every time I finish something. By the way, what the fuck do you mean I finished watching But I'm a Cheerleader and then 4 minutes, not 4 minutes, like 40 seconds later, Crave is like, if you love that, hey, we're just going to start playing episode 1 of a television program called St. Denis Medical. Like I finished a movie and they're like, would you like to watch 10 episodes of television? No, bro. You only have 2 movies on your watch list. My private watch list, not my Letterboxd watch list. I can't spend my whole life curating lists that are open to the public. I have a watch list on my phone in the app. On Letterboxd, I think I only have Punch Drunk Love, which I have already seen, but I'm going to see again. And also Linda, which I got to see, of course. But all right, now here, more or less, I put you on notice, devs. I don't think you disrespecting twice with that 9 million malarkey in Spotify. Tall puppies get cut. That's all I'm trying to say. If I can't trust your data set, why am I even playing the game? You need to prove the data. Otherwise, I'm just clicking buttons for no reason. Banana has to get more searches than turkey. Well, okay, we move on. Probably people are like, nobody's searching for this. They should be searching for turkey. How about that? 2 Chainz versus Twice. Well, Twice they have a 50% penalty in this game for some reason, so we go 2 Chainz. Guys, what the fuck is going on? I'm going to say Transformers Age of Extinction. I've made a huge mistake. People will give... Oh, okay, no, we're saved. I'm going to go the Terminator over Twisted Pair. Don't ever question K-pop stans. You have it so backwards. Twice is more popular than they appear in the game. In the game, they have a debuff for some reason. Because yesterday, I was like, why was Twice at like 9 million when they're one of the most popular bands in the world? And people are like, well, it's niche. K-pop is more niche than you'd think. And then one person, rather than wasting their life typing into chat why the bad data is good, they went to Spotify and went, yeah, actually, they're at 19 million. So I don't know why it's wrong. And I said, thank you. You're the only real scholar left on the internet. You're the only real person who actually will go out and look at some data instead of just being like, well, this is an example of this fallacy. Anyway, it's up. Bro, you look like you're from Kirkland. Hey, that's a real place, man. I actually probably do look a little bit like I'm from Kirkland. No, I don't want to. I don't want to insult Washington that much, but things get a little interesting once you get outside of the Seattle metro area. Once you find yourself a little bit east of the Seattle-Tacoma region, or a little north of the Seattle-Tacoma region. And I don't even go that far south or that far east, to be honest. But people start to look a little bit different than they do in the Seattle metro. But you might think that I mean that as an insult. You see some interesting people inside the Seattle metro as well. All I'm saying is that anytime I find myself in Mount Vernon, Washington, I really do I feel like I go if we're going to use something we shouldn't use, which is a 10 out of 10 hotness scale, like hotornot.com, I go up 1.5 just from being ambiently in Mount Vernon, Washington versus being in Vancouver. And Mount Vernon isn't even that busted. They got the Tulip Festival, they got a nice co-op grocery store and stuff like that. That's crazy. The co-op's pretty good, man. Every time I'm in Mount Vernon, it's full of Instagram baddies taking tulip photos. Okay, now listen, try not going to Mount Vernon during the Tulip Festival. I know that's like, you're like, why would I ever go to Mount Vernon apart from that? Well, if you want to get a representative look at what Mount Vernon is like, don't go during the Tulip Festival. That's an event with regional, perhaps even statewide significance, bro. NL thinks he's Miles Morales talking about some I can do both type shit. You know what? My grudge with Spider-Verse has gotten even worse. Because it's actually like, I just look at my phone and I shake my head. When I leave a review on Letterboxd and someone leaves a comment on it that's like a joke I've heard 100 times before, I always click on their name just to see what their top 4 is. And there's like a 90% incidence that there's a Spider-Verse movie in the top 4. It's always, the one time I made the joke off the cuff, I didn't know how true it was, that the top 4 is always like the best movie that came out in the last 3 years, a Spider-Verse movie, one older foreign movie that they put in there just so you know that they got shooters, and then also a Studio Ghibli film. It's like every single time. Every single time. They aren't wrong. I think, like, I've only seen the first Spider-Verse. I thought the first Spider-Verse was really good. It being in 50% of 20 to 25-year-olds' top 4s on Letterboxd is crazy. But it's the same. I don't know what it is for millennials, but for Gen X or even elder millennials, probably Jurassic Park is in, like, the same boat. Like, Jurassic Park is a good movie, but, like, the way that people who were, like, 13 in the year 1995 treated is like it's the greatest piece of art that's ever been invented. Big Lebowski? Big Lebowski, believe it or not, I'm just bald. I'm not as old as most people who love the Big Lebowski. The Big Lebowski is slightly older coded than me. There's got to be something for it. Maybe it's Eternal Sunshine for my generation. I could see that. I mean, Eternal Sunshine, the thing is, the reason I feel like it doesn't fit is because I'm like, that movie's amazing. So obviously it doesn't apply because that really is one of the best movies ever made. So that the analogy doesn't hold, which means that the analogy probably holds as best as it possibly could. Garden State? I don't think you're going to see too many Garden State top 4s, though. Holy shit, it was made for me. December 24th, 2004. It's Christmas Eve of my 11th grade in high school. Universal, what did Universal have that was pumping on December 24th, man? Christmas Carol? Ben Still. Oh, it's the fucking Fockers. God damn it. God damn it. I love Ben Stiller. This is just not good. It's just not a good movie. I'm sorry to say. Jim Carrey 04. It's post Bruce Almighty. 04. I feel like could it just be A Christmas Carol? Adventure comedy family? They would be animated, right? Post Eternal Sunshine. Well, around the same time as Eternal Sunshine, but Eternal Sunshine I think was a Focus Features. Oh, a series of unfortunate events. Oh, my God. Of course. Oh. 20th Century Fox, man. Kenan Thompson. This is Fat Albert, the movie where he escapes from the TV and learns how to be a real person from Bill Cosby. You made that up. And must turn to creator Bill Cosby for advice. So we'll skip that one. Miramax, starring Leonardo DiCaprio, 04. It has to be Blood Diamond. No? It has to be The Aviator? Yeah, it's award season 04. Aviator makes a lot of sense. Warner Brothers with 86 million. Pre-Batman Begins. I don't think it's going to be... What are you? Crime thriller? Could be Oceans. What? Could be Oceans 12? I'm really surprised that Ocean's 12 did not make more money faster, given how much of a cultural moment Ocean's 11 was. But you can't only dude, what the fuck? I wouldn't have thought that Ocean's performed so well internationally, bro. Because it sucks. Yeah, but this is '04. Like nobody knew that shit sucked back then. You would just go see a movie. Like there was Rotten Tomatoes, but like I was the only nerd using it, to be honest. IMDb existed? Brother, I don't know what you want me to say. I was alive. I was the only motherfucker. People would be like, you want to go see this movie? And I would be like, it has a 61 on Rotten Tomatoes. They would be like, I don't care. The trailer looks good. The culture was different back then. Nowadays, if something had a 61 on Rotten Tomatoes, it basically means it's one of the worst movies that has ever been released. Nowadays, if a movie doesn't have 90 plus on Rotten Tomatoes, there's no reason to see it. Because all of the critical media has been captured. Holy shit. Zach Braff, Mila Kunis, James Franco, Jessica Chastain. Nightmare Blunt rotation? I'd smoke with Jessica. I don't care. Not the Braffler? I don't know. I just think he'd be really annoying. I have nothing to base that on. I just get the idea that hanging out with Zach Braff would be kind of irritating after a while. I have nothing to base it on. Didn't he beat up some kids on Punk'd? Were they punking him? I mean, there's almost like Punk'd takes place in a bubble. If you are getting punked, that does not reveal your true nature, as far as I'm concerned. If you come home to your house and movers are removing all the shit from your house, and then you start being mean to the movers because you don't know that you're being punked, that it isn't like, I always knew I got bad vibes from him. People act crazy in crazy situations, man. Why do they do so many commercials as JD and Turk? I didn't know that. We don't have those ads in Canada. It's implied that it's JD and Turk, but they're just two guys. You know, for an incredibly litigious society, I get that vibe from American commercials all the time, which is like, I'm obviously playing a character that I played in a media property, like a movie or a TV show, but I can't say that I am that guy because then I would have to pay residuals or whatever. I would have to pay rights to the studio that originally made it. So instead, I'm just doing the same thing that I did on the show as the guy, but not saying I'm the guy. But it does seem crazy to me that Terry Crews can do those Dodge commercials where he sings 1,000 miles. Like, he should be paying the Wayans brothers at least $100,000 a pop. He should be breaking off $100,000 for each of the Wayans brothers. Because that's his character from the movie. That's like 12 brothers. I'm talking about just Marlon and Sean. And maybe Keenan Ivory, because I believe Keenan Ivory directed the movie. He doesn't have to break off $100,000 for each Wayans. That's psychotic. But at least Marlon, Sean, and probably Keenan Ivory. My dad got super mad watching White Chicks and said he was angry a movie like that couldn't be made today. That did not happen. That has happened in history, but it did not happen to you. You did not turn on White Chicks with your dad and your dad said, I'm mad because they can't make this anymore. Your dad was just laughing. If you ever watched the movie with your dad, he was literally just laughing. You are writing bait, and I consider you an agent of evil because people in chat will fall for it and they will base all of their beliefs forever on that. They'll be like, people are doing this, and it's really one person that you made up. Gotcha, amiga? Your friend who plays Uma Musume Pretty Derby versus Smetanic. To be honest, it looks pretty fucking good. Cake is really tasty, man. The hell is this? The Berner Haselnusselbukuchen? It looks like carnitas, so I'm gonna vote for it. Oh my god. Oh my god. I know I've said this before, people tell me to die every time I say it. I believe that it tastes good because I have heard that this is one of the best tasting foods on the planet. If I took this picture and posted it in the Discord and said, I just made chicken and rice, people would go, where's the seasoning? They would go, this shit looks disgusting, didn't season it at all. Chicken looks like he boiled it and then put one like cilantro leaf on top of it next to a pile of white rice. They would be fucking airing my white ass out. But instead, as in context, people go, wow, that looks awesome. That looks incredible. All I know is if I took this picture and posted it, people would be lighting me up, man. Holy shit, it won by 0.2. Got a sushi burger. Tempeh burger buns. It's a tempeh sandwich. There is no way this is not. This has North America all over it. I'm sorry. It has to be made in the United States or Canada. What? Are you serious? It's so like, what else am I supposed to eat? I just turned vegetarian. Like, this so like trying to replicate a meat meal with vegetable products. I can't believe that this is not North American, man. Northwest of the United States. I just don't believe it could be Russia. You can catch me saying that this is Sweden. Tempeh burger? Okay, I'm going to hit you with something crazy. I don't know how it would be northeast of the United States to get to Australia. Okay. It does, I will say, the way that the cucumber's cut and the tomato and the way that I don't know if this is onion, but the way that this is cut is giving Thai cuisine. No? Okay. I mean, the last bastion of any guess is Indonesia. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Indonesia? Tempeh is from Indonesia? That's cool. It gained popularity in Western countries in the late 20th century, which is like when I got here, but I guess you were here in the fucking like 1800s or whatever. My bad, y'all. A free hot dog given to me after a mix-up with an order at New York Mets tonight. Yes, it turned out to just be a bun. Versus truita de patata with a water. What? It lost to bun? How did it lose to bun? It was free? It wasn't free. It was in compensation for a mix-up, bro. Also, free bread is good, but a free hot dog bun is like, that's not the type of bread you just want to sit and eat. Kebab looks pretty good. You just got bunned. Send this to a friend to totally bun them. Pissing me off. Can I tell you something? I'm learning a lot about what it means to be a middle-aged man from the other middle-aged dads that have kids in my daughter's school. I was talking to one of them on the weekend about a coffee shop, and he was like, yeah, I used to go to it. Then they switched their coffee, and their new coffee sucked. And I was like, yeah, the coffee's been a little worse lately. And then he said, I actually told them. I said, guys, I love your cafe, but the new coffee is worse than the old coffee. And I talked to the owner, and the owner was like, yeah, but the new coffee is like a roaster that's a friend of ours, so we're trying to help him out. And I went, well, that's all well and good, but you're going to lose customers unless you get the old coffee back. And then they switched back to like 50-50. Like sometimes they have the new coffee and sometimes they have the old coffee. I was like, you could do that? You can voice your concerns to a cafe and they could take it under advisement and like alter their behavior as a result? I had no idea, man. They're all just people. I'm learning this for the first time, to be honest. Winona Ryder shoplifted one of his $700 sweaters and has since been called in 3 times to promote his handbags. If he hadn't... Mark Jacobs. Guys, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to shade Winona. I don't think she should have stolen this stuff. I don't think she necessarily deserved to get dragged in the media for like 2 years after that. But I don't think she should have stolen the stuff. Wrong? Did I miss like a Netflix documentary? Why is it cool that Winona stole the stuff? And don't say because she was in Heathers. Shoplifting is a victimless crime? I mean, that seems like any response will just be a huge argument. I'm not saying that Mark Jacobs is going to be in financial trouble because Winona Ryder stole his sweater. Okay, that's obviously not something I'm going to try to argue for. But why are we framing it like an act of rebellion when I think actually didn't she just have like psychiatric kleptomania? Like I don't think she was doing it. I guess you're saying the ends justify the means in a sense. Because fuck Mark Jacobs, who cares? Because I like her, she's cool. So it all boils down to because she was in Heathers, which I guess is fine. I feel like when you're Winona, you could just like not buy the bag though. You could just like walk past the store or something like that. I'm not saying she could afford to buy the sweater. If she doesn't want this, if she doesn't want the sweater, she shouldn't buy it. But she was trying to save Mark Jacobs from the bad PR. If everyone found out that the store was selling a $700 sweater, he would have been gagged by the media. You know what? Maybe you got a point. She was trying to help out her friend Mark. This sweater's too expensive. Did you really just watch I'm a Cheerleader recently, or did you just log it because you saw it 20 years ago? I watched it this morning, my brother, for the first time. My parents rented it when I was a kid, but I was too young to watch it. But I remember that they rented it. Okay, I feel like the first permanent IMAX movie theater was in the 90s. Barcodes were definitely like the 70s, maybe even earlier. The first woman is elected governor of a U.S. state. I'll cop to not knowing who this is, but the maximum latest date would be like 04 or something, because that's Sarah Palin was the governor of Alaska around this time. So I'm willing to believe that this is after IMAX, unfortunately. In vitro fertilization feels 90s coded to me, maybe like there. And then maybe the squid photo was taken just last year, man. Okay. It's gotta be this then. Okay, Nellie Taylor Ross, I had no idea. In 1924, holy cow. Wait, isn't this before women could vote? That's some goat shit if she got elected governor of a state when women couldn't even vote. It's 5 years after? Okay, 5 years after. That's still fucking beast mode. That's crazy. I know, because we have one in Vancouver, I know those first permanent IMAX theaters fucking suck, bro. 1971 is crazy because the one in Vancouver was built in 1986, and it's one of the worst movie theaters I've ever been in my entire life, because the screen is mapped to a fucking sphere. It's the Cinesphere in Toronto? Okay, yeah, that's it. They used to put the IMAX, they used to map it as a plane on a ball. So like once you're watching the movie, the shit closer to the top gets like super stretched, like that classic picture of the guy who was like, I was late to the Oppenheimer showtime, so I had to sit in the front row, and it's Oppenheimer with the fucking Giga Chad Thanos face. Nature's movies were sick on them. No, they're not, by the way. I watched a documentary on that IMAX in Vancouver about spirit bears in the Pacific rainforest, and the screen is just, the novelty's done. They need to replace the screen. The dome is cool as fuck. I'm sure they can find something to do with the dome, but the screen is not acceptable at this point in time. Like, the screen is so bad that it makes you feel crazy when people are like, the movie's so good, you gotta see it in IMAX. It's almost like they're saying, like, the movie's so good, you can watch it on a fucked up screen where you can't see half the movie anyway, and, like, it'll still be awesome. 50% renters is crazy. Yeah, they don't know shit about Montauk, bro. They don't know shit about Joel and Clementine Krasinski. Because in my head, they get married and Joel takes her last name. Because he's kind of a needy beta. And she, I don't know. I would need her to take the Omegaverse quiz, I think, to figure out what she would be. They do not get married. They get married. Literally, some haters with no media literacy will say the ending implies that they're doomed to do the cycle of falling in love and erasing their memories forever. My headcanon is that after 2 or 3 loops, they just get it right. They just figure it out. And they go, you know what? Let's stop all this crazy stuff. Let's stop giving 10% of our paycheck to Tom Wilkinson and let's just get married. Let's try this thing out. I thought it was a comedy, so it was not great for a first date. I can't do this again. I can't do this thing where I'm like, I fucked up my date by trying to show a girl a good movie. I'm sure it's probably totally fine. I have to believe that she just tanked it and was probably like, this was a good movie. Thanks for taking me. My friend asked me for a recommendation for a movie. I told him to go see The Lighthouse. Next day, he was pissed because he was going out on a movie date. Honestly, are the neurotypicals okay? I feel like it was totally fine to have a date and go see The Lighthouse. It gives you some shit to talk about. Like, this is, unironically, this is the data point that is like turning me towards believing that maybe I got something crazy going on upstairs. It doesn't seem like a big deal at all. It just seems like it's a complete non-issue. Might be the mermaid jerking off scene and the farting. Okay, so what are you suggesting? It's inappropriate for a date. The shit that pisses me off is you are all atheists and you're like, I don't want to watch a movie with farting is not appropriate for a date. It's going to offend their tender sensibilities. Like, your attitude towards the movies that you can watch on a date with a woman are unironically misogynist. And you're calling me a misogynist because I didn't know about Nellie Taylor winning the Wyoming election for gubernatorial control of Wyoming in 1924, bro. Plus, the worst case scenario, if she actually does get offended and she doesn't want to watch it, don't you trust her to be like, this shit's kind of weird, turn it off? She's not just going to sit there and be like, whoa, he picked a bad movie. I'm never going to go on a date with this guy again. Doesn't make any damn sense. Why are you so puritanical? You're 22! Fucking chill out. It doesn't matter. Sit in the seat, watch the first 22 minutes of the movie, make out for the rest of it, and fucking add it to Letterboxd with whatever the consensus score is. This is the way, bro. They lost the sacred text. They don't know what they're doing anymore. They don't know what they're doing anymore. I watched The Hateful Eight in theaters with my Mormon grandpa, and that scene was not a fun time. I'm freaking out. I guess I trust everyone I see movies with to be adults, and they can just handle their own shit. You know how many movies I've seen where people are fucking? And I've like watched it on the couch with my parents when I was like 14. I don't give a fuck, man. I can't believe we have grown adults covering their eyes during sex scenes in like R-rated award-winning films with their parents. Just watch the fucking movie. It's not real. It's a fucking movie. Why would you take your grandpa to a Tarantino film? Because he's lived long enough on planet Earth that he can appreciate true cinema. I'm fucking dying. I'm fucking dying. You don't believe that these are real people. You don't believe that the person you're taking out on a date and possibly wooing and maybe falling in love with and getting married and starting a family with is a real person with interiority and some autonomy of their own. You don't believe that the people who raised you are real people with complicated emotions that can and mature sensibilities that can actually handle stuff. I'm freaking out. You think you're the only real person. You think you're the only, well, you're literally looking at the demography of it and this movie wouldn't be appropriate for them. They're not an 18 to 35-year-old male who spends 8 hours a day on Reddit. What are you talking about? They're people. He looks so skinny while crashing out. Oh my God, it's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me. Chicken potato is fucking working. Chicken potato is working gangbusters. Holy shit, this is awesome. I'm on that Ben Stiller meet the parents type diet. Oh. I saw Bridesmaids in the theater at 14 with my mom, and she laughed and poked me at the part where she mentions the son's blanket was stiff from jerking off into it. W mom. That's huge W mom energy. That's what moms are supposed to do. They're supposed to embarrass you. And you're going to say, like, Mom, that's not cool. Okay, stop jerking off into, like, fabric when your mom still does your laundry, you gross little boy. Jerk off into a fucking tissue and at least throw it in the garbage can. Or like flush it down the toilet or something, you fucking pervert. You can only jerk off into your bed sheets if you're the one who does the linens, you fucking moron. Of course she knows you're whacking it. What do you think, bro? Are you stupid? Everyone is now realizing their moms knew they jerked it. I'm so sorry, but if you're like in your 20s or older, and you somehow were still laboring under the delusion that your mom didn't know her teenage son was jerking off, you might be fucking stupid. How could they not know, man? You're like a little kid. You're not slick, man. Of course they knew. Can I tell you something else? The reason, if they never bring it up, the reason they never bring it up is because you have a truce. I know that, you get a little older and all of a sudden you're like, man, Every Saturday, my mom would be like, hey, me and your dad are just going to take a nap for a little bit. Are you good out here? And I'll be like, yeah, I'm fine, Mom. Wow, I guess working hard really makes you sleepy. They were fucking in there. I don't bring that up to them, and they don't bring the jerk-off shit up to me. This is the way, man. It's family business. You broke Omerta? Yeah, but it was funny. I never even saw my parents kiss. That's funny, man. Well, they were fucking other people then, in all likelihood. Hopefully. Why does that sound so sad? I think it's sad to live in a world where you never see your parents kiss. You look to your parents to be a model for what like a grown-up relationship is supposed to be like. And what if you never have one of those? Oh, yeah, it was not really my fault, to be honest with you. Top 15%. Some of us have divorced parents. Oh, hey, but like you're my grandson, I need you to be my strongest soldier. Having divorced parents is better than having parents that are unhappily married. If the marriage sucks, the fact that they got divorced is a buff. They buffed it in the patch, man. Also, this isn't really fair because my parents are still married and in love. It's really like 70s to 90s coded to be like an adult out here talking about like my parents are divorced. It's not for me to say that that didn't give you trauma. I'm sure it gave you trauma, but they got it all out between the 70s and the 90s. Like every Jim Carrey movie in the 90s was about him being a bad father and him almost getting divorced from the dad's mom, okay? But then they eventually reconciled, okay? It's so easy to deal with. I literally can't say that because I've never been through it, but at the same time, it does feel to me like, like people were getting divorced like crazy 20 years ago, and the kids are out there like still, they're grown-ups now. So I think most of them probably tank it. Sure, some of them are worse than others, don't get me wrong. Now I gotta call some lady my dad's wife? That is fucking funny. I've never in my life been able to say something like, oh, my dad's wife. My mom's new boyfriend. I don't think that would be traumatic for me to get into the adjustment of saying something like my mom's new boyfriend. To have to send a message to someone that's like, I can't right now. Jeff's over. Oh, my mom took the car. She's on a date with Jeff. I'm like, fuck. Stuck in my fuck ass room because mom's out with Jeff right now. Mom's at the Lone Star, Texas grill with Jeff. Jeff has his own aluminum siding business, but he can't take the work truck for personal business. Fuck you, Jeff. Please stop, I beg you. Legendary tribes in classical historiography. Women warriors. Etymology of California. Women of the Trojan War. Bro, you look like Helen. Single gender worlds. It's Scythian ladies. The Scythian ladies. This is how I find out the Amazon warriors are not from the Amazon. I'm being dead ass with you. Obviously, I know that the Amazon rainforest and the Amazon warriors are two different things. But I thought that the Amazon warriors were in the Amazon rainforest. Like, I thought that's where historically they're from. Wonder Woman, the famous South American? Well, that came later, obviously. Like, the Wonder Woman shit came later. Wonder Woman wasn't around in, like, negative 500 BC or whatever. Happiness is overrated. Sometimes we just want to feel miserable. Is it bad that I was happy when character fell into the pit? She's too shiny. Shiny people are sus, man. I need another review. Emotional terrorism. Fell into the pit. I'm reviewing this as an adult, so ultimately what I say doesn't matter. This must be Inside. Inside Out. It's unfortunate that I'm 19 now and still have a tragic vampire romance island. My joy must have gone on a trip about 8 years ago and got lost on her way back. Rip girly. Okay, whatever, man. I hate Letterboxd. I think it's mostly good, but there's some stuff that I don't necessarily vibe with. Yes. Better than Lost in Translation? I don't want to talk about it. I didn't know Lost in Translation had so many haters. I like Letterboxd, I just never read the reviews. My other problem with Letterboxd is, and I'm not saying that it's Gen Z doing this, because it could very well be millennials, but I feel like a lot of shit movies that came out when I was a teenager are ranked way too highly on Letterboxd because they're being rediscovered like 20 years later. And it's like people are looking back at the time wistfully without realizing that when they came out contemporarily, they were not good. They were like worse than the other shit that was coming out at the same time. Like, I'm sorry to say, Garden State should not be a 3.5 or whatever. Gardens, and some of this shit is, I'm willing to go to bat for this one. Why is the Darjeeling Limited at like a 4.1 on Letterboxd, bro? It's maybe the worst Wes Anderson film. The Life Aquatic, I do not like very much, but I will accept it being at like a 3.8 because people just go fucking crazy. The way I look at it, kind of, it's a little bit like, you know how in a Marvel movie, when like a character shows up from the comics, everybody goes, yes! I feel like The Life Aquatic is like that, but the Gulp Shido is the Brazilian guy with the hat playing the David Bowie songs, the Sue George David Bowie songs. So it's like every review is like, the movie's not that good, but I love when the Brazilian guy plays the guitar. Well, I'm like, well, the movie is the movie, so give the movie score. But Darjeeling Limited being at a 4.1 seems fucking crazy to me. Your review of Darjeeling is skewed because you got rejected by your crush during the film. It's the opposite of your eating popcorn rule. I did not get rejected by my crush at the Darjeeling Limited. It was within a 3-month period around that. I ate at a restaurant and then with her, and then on the way back, I told her, and she went, oh, interesting. Let me think about that for a minute. And I got out of her Plymouth Voyager and she fucking peeled out of my dorm parking lot, bro. I would not hold that against the Darjeeling Limited. I hold that against Plymouth, which a few years after that ceased to exist. Too fucking generous for them to have lasted that long to begin with. And then also the restaurant in downtown Kingston, even though it's not their fault. Now that restaurant unfortunately no longer exists, but it was a good restaurant. Smelled a little funky sometimes because it was like run by like an anarchist co-op, but the grilled cheese fucking slapped. And real Kingstonians will know exactly what place I'm talking about. I don't need to drop the name. Someone drop the name so I can go, yerp. Immediately got it. Immediately got it right. 1990 with 1.2 billion views. This has got to be like, you can't touch this or something. Or Bryan Adams, like everything I do it for you. I need a little bit more, obviously. I don't think it's MC Hammer. I need a little more, man. 1990, kind of a weird zone, too. You still got a little hair metal. You're like pre-grunge explosion. What the hell were they doing back then? Give me some voice, man. I would do anything for love. Just trying to think of what was on Much Music back in the day. It sounds familiar, but I don't know what it is, man. It's got to be Winds of Change. You got it? I'm being so fucking for real with you. I don't think I've ever heard it in my life. I don't think I've heard it in my whole life. No shot? You gotta listen to it? I know it's at 1.2 billion, man, but I just don't think I've heard it. And I feel like the whole music video is just footage of like the Berlin Wall coming down. So I'm imagining this went like crazy in Europe. I'm imagining went insane in Europe, but I don't think they played it that much on the radio when I was growing up, man. Never goes out of style, timeless. This song needs to be heard today because of our current conflict. Yes, Maria, yes. If we could just get Vladimir Putin and Zelensky in a room together and listen to the Scorpions, there would be no war. So true. Our conflict, we're not being specific with the conflict, but just we have many conflicts. If we could just get everybody to listen to this song, this would solve the problem. I was 20 years old the night the Berlin Wall came down. I stayed up for hours watching it happen on live TV. Having grown up during the Cold War, it was nothing any of us thought could happen, but it did. This song captures the feeling of the time perfectly. Relations with the Soviet Union were improving, and the looming threat of nuclear Armageddon seemed to be fading into history. Fast forward to today. How did things go so far backwards? It seems to me like many have forgotten those dark, awful days of the past. And then the kicker. Perhaps they need to listen to this song. Perhaps the whole world needs to, again. Did the song take down the wall? Is it like the East Berlin mayor heard the song and went like, this shit has gone on too long? We got to take this wall down? Like, is that what happened? No sex, no brutality, no hate speech, only good song. The three horsemen of bad music: hate speech, brutality, and sex. Whatever happened to good music? No hate speech, no brutality, no sex. No sex for me, please. I wish the wind of change come in our lives and kick out coronavirus. That's so damn true. 1980s, take me to a better future. 2020, take me back to the 1980s. Okay, the song came out in 1990, brother. The winds of change are certainly blowing horribly presently across our lands. The future is defiantly in the air. Words to live by. Oh my gosh, I never really thought about the winds of change are certainly blowing horribly presently across our lands. Middle-aged people writing comments in YouTube videos will never get old, man. Like, see, this comment doesn't even have anything wrong with it. It's just like, why would you write this? I've always loved this song, and it affects me on a very personal level. The winds of change in the late 80s and 90s opened a whole new world for me and many more. My Russian wife was allowed to come to Korea to study in 1998. I was teaching English in Korea, and one night I met her and fell in love and followed her back to Russia, where I took a job teaching English. Without the winds of change, we would most likely have never met, and our two lovely daughters would never have been born. That's literally you? Ain't got nothing to do with the winds of change, bro. That was Blizzard Entertainment and StarCraft. Now that's a fucking song, bro. Once that StarCraft Terran theme. Fuck. Please post that comment on this video. Don't do that. Don't do that. And all the comments are just quotes from the game. That's what it's. No motherfuckers making up headcanon. This song is literally about my life. The lyrics of this literally happened to me 57 years ago. Anyone still listen? You want a piece of me, boy? Battle cruiser operational. Oh shit. They were cooking something up back there, man, in 1998. Holy fuck. Schedule message. My life is so fucked up right now. I use schedule message to reply to texts that my mom sends me, but I don't want to reply when I see the message because sometimes that's 5:15 in the morning. No, you got me all right. I don't schedule the reply because I don't want to talk to my mom. I schedule the reply because I wake up, look at my phone, and she sends me a message at like 8:45 when I'm already like closing my eyes and going to sleep. Hello, pop friend. So then I type a text so I don't forget to reply, and I click and schedule the message to deliver at like 8 a.m. the following morning. Because I know my mom, for me, she keeps the notification chime on for all communication. So I don't want to be responsible. The other thing is, when people get older, if they ever wake up in the middle of the night, they can't get back to sleep. So to be a responsible child, you have to take their sleep hygiene into account. and not hit them with any unnecessary bells or whistles overnight. Too nice, I'd be running up and down the stairs like I'm doing ladder drills. Well, I don't live in a house with my mom, but I do try to go up the stairs quietly. But it's different, like, it's different when you have a kid. They should have called the game Don't Wake Kiddo instead of Don't Wake Daddy. Because, like, if Daddy wakes up, pretty decent chance he could just close his eyes, go back to bed. Even if he did get a bottle of mustard squirted into his face. If you wake up the kid, it's all over. Because you wake up the kid, they're going to wake up Daddy regardless. And then the whole day is fucking ruined. The other thing is sometimes a kid goes back to sleep. Sometimes a kid just says, fuck it. 4:45 in the morning, that's when I'm starting my day. If Daddy wakes up, who gives a shit? It's so true. We got dads out here talking like, I'm tired. Bro, nobody cares. Nobody cared last time. Nobody cares this time. Nobody's going to care next time. Get a cup of coffee and fucking get over it. So true. Thank you for saying so true, because if the first comment said, like, is this going to be another men's rights pivot? If the first comment said some shit like that, I would have crashed out. But the fact that somebody said that's true, you've saved me. Who's they? Everyone you talk to, including all other men. Including me. My late 20s were all about naps. I'll be so for real with you. I think I just wasn't doing enough to get like that tired. So I was always like, I don't know, I guess I'm just wired too high. Like I'm a high performance machine. I don't get tired enough to take naps. I think I was just like mostly having a sedentary job and like never exercising led me to a situation where I just never found myself needing to take a nap. Now there's some days, it's just the way this ironic world works, where you like wake up tired, but you know like nobody's coming to save you. So you're just going to be there like all day. You're just going to be tired all day. That's why I need the Breville Bambino Plus espresso machine with the added attachment to make milk drinks. God, it could go fucking crazy, man. He's never getting the machine. I think I might get the machine. The problem is I need to book enough time in my day to not only get the machine, but I need to have the time to also watch a YouTube tutorial about how to use the machine, how to do a half-decent pull of the espresso. Go to a class? All right, let's be serious. Obviously, that's not going to happen. I have a Gaggia Pro, modified from the 9 to a 12, plus a steam wand for the milk. Highly recommended. I need you to shut up. There's a reason I'm getting the Breville instead of the Gaggia, which is that I don't even like to talk about the fact that I'm thinking about getting an espresso machine because people start talking to me in an alien tongue. They start saying some shit to me that makes no sense to me. Keep in mind that what have I done? What kind of coffees have I made at home in my life? I have made my own cold brew, which is just like ground beans and water. And I have made coffee in a drip coffee machine. And I have made French press. So like all this stuff, to me already, this is a big step and it's gonna be a little complicated. And now people start talking to me about what gauge of burr are you gonna get on your espresso grinder? And I'm like, you know what? I'm not 100% sure yet. I'm gonna try to avoid being too Reddit about it, and maybe I'll figure that out piecemeal in time as time goes on, rather than trying to digest absolutely everything about a hobby so I don't spend a single second wasting my time learning things on my own. I can skip all the unnecessary stuff where you go from amateur to professional and just become a professional right off the bat and get rid of the joy of discovery and learning completely. Which was not what you were suggesting, just to be clear. I'm not putting that evil on you, but you think when you get touched by the blue, do you think it's cold or hot? Because it's blue, which is cold. But I mean, if it's like I don't know, is electricity, I feel like electricity is kind of hot coated. There's no shot that's not cold. It's sizzling, but it's a cold sizzle. Circle is Kiki. Oh, I don't know, but Kiki's hot and Booba's cold. But maybe it's like a it depends situation. Booba's hot, IMO? Okay, don't be droll. The fella. Okay, good shot. Lock in. Lock the fuck in. That was a bot, by the way. I'll acknowledge that. I think that was a bot that made it to the final circle, or near the final circle. It's so funny. I'm like stressed to have one first aid kit, even though in the average game, I probably use 0. You pretty much either get shot in the head and die, or win the game just off of energy drinks. Katie Holmes' daughter be like, I'm so sorry. Ah. Bro, what about the other guy behind you? What about the fella behind you, though? They don't give a fuck. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ! Oh my God! Help! 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 The fella? Oh, he blew himself up. Okay, he blew himself up. Mogged. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Well, I feel like this is personal growth, but I was in the grocery store yesterday. We were getting like just enough items to not feel comfortable taking the express aisle. So I was doing the math of what aisle to go for. And I'm so sorry, this is like ageist as fuck, but one of the lines that was open, it's like an old lady with a full shopping cart, and I said, obviously, we're not going in that line. That's just not going to happen. And then the other line was like a middle-aged man, and he'd already loaded his stuff onto the belt. So I was like, this should be totally fine, man. And then I realized, once I got up there, he was like a price matcher. So he like briefed the cashier at the start of the interaction and was like, hey, here's this, I put the stuff at the front that is not getting priced match, and like everything after this, I'm gonna price match. And I was kind of like, oh, here we go. But the dude had it down to a fucking science. Like the cashier was like doing exactly what he suggested, and he was like, okay, and then we're gonna go to the blueberries. I have the blueberry offer here from another grocery store. Like they were normally $6.99 and these ones are $3.49. So he like price matched. He had it all set up and laid out, and I was like, this is actually aspirational. I'm not mad at all for a number of reasons. A, like you gotta do what you gotta do, but B, I was like, bro, he's inconveniencing me as little as possible. Now, there were some of them where I was on one thing, he was saving 50 cents. And I was kind of like, there were some big money price matches in there. The 50 cents, I don't know about that. That's kind of giving like extreme couponing energy. But there were some where like strawberries were like $9.99 and he got them for like $5.49 and he bought, oh shit. He bought like 5 cartons of them. And I was like, damn, you know what? More power to you, brother. He's probably a millionaire. Well, I mean, he's making at least 20 bucks every time he goes to the grocery store. Plus, A, that's not really any of my business. B, so is the motherfucker that owns the grocery store. Well, now he's a billionaire, but you get the idea. Was Lee Harvey Oswald a bot? Who's the dude who killed Lee Harvey Oswald again? You think he said, how do you like it? Jack Ruby, that's it. You think he was like, how do you like it? Probably had a cooler line. You think so? I mean, it happened pretty fast, right? Like, I don't know if he had that much time to rehearse. It would have been great if somebody... Okay, I don't know if I could say that out of context. You're right, it would have been funny if somebody had come out and then Jack Ruby. At which point someone would then, and at increasing speed, someone would then get the guy who got Jack Ruby, and then I see exactly what you're going for there. Eye for an eye leaves the whole world blind type shit. Yeah, but the first guy who takes out an eye, I mean, you're just not gonna just let him get away. But I guess the first guy, like if you really go back, the first guy who took out an eye was like the first guy, right? Everybody's got a reason for their behavior. Cain? Yeah. Cain fucked it up for everybody, man. That the world has never been the same since the first choke slam. Grok wife Isaac YouTube videos peak, by the way. Thank you. It's inspired by a true story, man. I take a lot of pride in doing the work to write a heartfelt message to my wife for her birthday. I know, not you fuckers, but probably statistically a few of you fuckers, but like there's a phenotype of husband out there that is like, this is painful. It's painful to write a message that tries to convey like real emotions. ChatGPT, it's my wife's birthday. Imagine you're her husband, which... Careful, brother, you might get what you wish for, but can you just write her a nice message that I could put in the card? That makes you a piece of shit. Like, well, one thing's for sure, it's hard for you to admit, it means I mog you, maritally speaking. So let's just start right there. It makes you kind of a puss, for one. Someone threw a blue zone grenade at me. I think I know who. Got him. Watch out. Watch out. Whoa! Shit! That was close. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Jesus Christ. That's a shot. That's a shot. Oh, fuck. Chud life? It's kind of been percolating in my head. I'll get up when I want, except on Wednesdays when I'm rudely awakened by the dustman. Jesus Christ. Chud life. Then I'm happy for the rest of the day. Safe in the knowledge you'll always be a part of me in it. What does he say? Wow! Not a stream sniper, bro. He's Park Life posting? I know Britpop, bro. Name another Blur song that isn't song 2. Okay, bro. Tracy Jacks, End of a Century. Fucking Girls and Boys. Song 3, that's a good answer. Magic America, is that one? It's in my head going, la, la, la. He does say la in a lot of songs. They'd like to live in Magic America. Oh, yeah, London Loves. The misery of a speeding car. I know some Blur, man. But not Winds of Change. I'm going to be honest with you. I think it's probably like good for society that the Berlin Wall fell or whatever. Not really the type of historian to really give that the nuanced take it deserves, but it seems like broadly a good event. But I think the Winds of Change by Scorpion kind of sucked ass, to be honest. It's literally like a hymn for people from East Berlin. Well, listen, you guys aren't fucking with the Tragically Hip outside of Etobicoke, and we're not fucking with the Scorpions out here in Vancouver. Some things are just for certain regions, and that's okay. They're fucking with the hip at the 100th Meridian. A lot of interesting lyrics in that song. I like when he says, left home to get gigantic. What do you think he means by that? Inflation fetish. Yeah, Gord Downey had an inflation fetish. You're the guy who thinks Jerome Powell has an inflation fetish? Jerome Powell, he might be the last real motherfucker out there. Dual mandate type shit? 100%, bro. I'm not saying he's part of the smoke circle, but like, he's trying to maintain the Federal Reserve's independence. Is something going on? They're trying to put him in federal prison for being like bad at doing a remodeling or whatever. They're trying to send him to Alcatraz because he maybe, but probably not, spent too much money on interior decorating or something. Like, they're trying to pin whatever they can, man. And I've been told it doesn't even look that good to begin with. I've been told that the renovation isn't all that. And a lot of people suggested other interior design themes that would have been more appropriate. He literally does smoke too tough. They didn't even have the numbers right. It literally, first off, I barely know what I'm talking about, so it doesn't matter. And secondly, it doesn't matter because if you live in the real world, everything goes over budget, bro. I thought you worked construction, Donnie. It's the status quo for this shit to be over budget. They couldn't have told you the real budget when they pitched you the fucking contract, or you would have gone with someone cheaper. So they lied to you, and then once they had their foot in the door, they said, well, of course we can't do it for that much. That's ridiculous. You start adding a little bit of extra on top. That's true. I guess if you just ignore the invoice, you can stay under budget. One of the most radicalized I almost got was when I was railing against the fact that when you got to pay a company, and I'm not trying to bite the hand that feeds here, but when you got to pay a company, that shit says due upon receipt. And when they got to pay you, all of a sudden they start talking a serious accounts receivable and accounts payable game about, oh, we're a net 60 company. We're a net 90 company. Probably like half of all animals scavenge. It's kind of crazy to think of. Like, they were spitting when they called it a food chain, man. An animal, like, kills another animal, and then it eats its fill, and then, like, vultures come in and eat their fill, and then, like, little animals come in and eat their fill, and then insects come in and eat their fill, and then, like, bacteria come in and eat their fill. Like, you'd be like, damn, if I was a gazelle and I got eaten by a lion, I'd be like, damn, I thought I only had one op. Turns out none of y'all were fucking with me. Just fucking with me until you could take a bite out of me, I guess. Thought I only had to worry about the lions, but nah, man, the fucking ants too. The birds, the ants, foxes and shit, little prairie dogs. Come on, man. Prairie dogs are vegan. Don't say they're not vegan, they're herbivores. We're the only animal that's vegan, okay? Really? Really? The Pandler. Oh shit! The fucker. They can't all be stream snipers, bro. Sure they can. We gotta work together, lads. Basement of the building? Swag. Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. No, fuck. Oh, fucking fuck. Jesus Christ. You know what? Who's next? What do you took a picture of it. Holy fuck. Where's he going? Whoa! Oh, what a throw! What a fucking throw. I got him pretty good, too. I can't be mad. I got him pretty good. I gotta see how this goes. Wait, first I had something to say, and the something to say was one time a taxi driver said the machine was broken and I believed him, so I had him drive me to an ATM and I took cash out. It's like worse than thinking back to all the times girls gave me a signal that I didn't pick up on. That's one of the most cringe moments of my life. Apollo said, not that much to play, huh? Apollo, I'm not playing Isaac because I don't know what to play. I'm playing Isaac because Isaac is better than the shit that just came out. And that's just me being 100% dead ass with you. Like every day I go to Steam and I look at the stuff that's come out and I just go, no, man. I saw a game today, the average game on Steam, and we'll probably take that forget me now. I gotta think about it though. The average game on Steam, you look at the promo art and go like, hey, this promo art like looks pretty good. And then you watch the trailer that actually features the game and it has like 4 FPS in the trailer. And you're like, how is this I get that this might be like a solo dev situation, but how on earth did you let that get to the Steam store page as the first thing people see is the game running at like 8 FPS on your Chromebook, man? Like, it's just, there's no way. People listing games worse than Isaac is driving me crazy. I mean, people are literally saying like Arc Raiders is right there. Buddy, even Justin's playing Project Zomboid right now. Arc Raiders must be in a bad spot. Time to go back to From Software. You guys are doing a false dilemma thing. You're watching something that's good and going, well, you could do something that is different. You're not looking for alternatives, bro. You're like suggesting a restaurant when we're already at a restaurant. Bro, this is the worst time to suggest a restaurant. You should have suggested a restaurant in the fucking car. Also, to the Discorders, who I love, who every day they suggest a game, I'm politely asking you to stop, because there's not one, oh, Bookworm, my king. There's not one game coming out every single day that's worth playing on stream, and I wish that that wasn't the case, but it's actually true. So I know you feel compelled to like make a different suggestion every single day, but the suggestions are they're not all even conceivable to make it to the stream. Have you tried Dark and Darker? Look what you've done, Apollo. Honestly, I am a little mad. To go into another streamer's chat and trigger the most annoying thing on Twitch, which is just people suggesting their favorite game is the next one that should be played, is actually, like, that's serious BM. That's crazy BM. You're right. In a way, I admire it because it's sort of like the perfect rage bait, but at the same time, I mean, I'm not gonna do it to you because your chat ignores me, and you're gonna say that's based, but instead they're literally just talking about, I mean, no disrespect, Apollo, your chat is Doomer Central. They don't want to laugh. Even if a joke is good, they just want to be like, fuck this Chungus life every single time I'm in there. They get mad at me for interrupting the cycle of doomerism. Like, they're all like, hey, we were crashing out in here, bro. Stop trying to bring some levity to the situation. So your chat is not appropriate, but I'm going to do it to somebody. I don't know what's going on this website, man. Dan was playing the original Castlevania this morning, went to mouth stream. Bro's got the stream muted, talking on the phone. Like, what happened to the website I love? I got no idea what's going on, man. I mean, it's a crazy Tuesday. I get that it's January, but what are we doing here? Dan was playing Hades yesterday. It's a crazy world, man. Yes, I played Baldur's Gate 2. I've played every game. I got lots of videos on Slay the Spire, bro. Have I played Super Auto Pets? Yes, bro. I played Super Auto Pets. I played every game. I've played no games. No, bro, I haven't played the Outer Wilds. I haven't played any games. You ever played Disco Elysium? I got no videos on Disco Elysium on my channel, bro. I played no games. You know how in Baby Geniuses, the premise is that babies are born smart, but when they hit age 3, they lose their baby brain and become stupid and then have to learn from zero again. I kind of feel like I might be like the sort of Let's Player that's like that. Because I might be living in a post-caring about what video game I'm playing and a very proto just caring what I'm talking about sort of era. And one of the things that made me think that is I was watching Chibli play Minecraft yesterday, and he was doing a great job of creating some emerging gameplay, setting up a confession booth in his Minecraft world where people could come and confess their sins. And I was like, that's pretty fun. Let's go watch some other people play on the same server. And they were, I don't know if you're still here, Apollo. They were doing like an Among Us 2020 thing where they were going like, they were like in a big area. There were like 9 or 10 of them all talking over each other at the same time, asking each other questions like, you know, who's the hottest Pokemon and stuff like that. And I was like, I can't watch this because it was different. I should pause for boss rush purposes. It was different when like we were all 25, but some of these people are my age and I'm my age, and I just can't be spending my free time watching the which Pokemon is hottest argument with a bunch of people that were born in the 1980s. Like it just, I can't do it, man. I went straight back to Chibli's stream, and I was like, I'm never leaving here ever again. And it's not, by the way, I'm not suggesting I'm better than them by any stretch of the imagination. Just like, I can't be, because here's the thing. I automatically assume that everybody watching this is roughly the same age as me. I can't be making content for 37-year-old guys who want to have a conversation about whether a Pokemon is hot or not. Like, that's a conversation you should have out of your system by the mid-20s. If you know that you are making content for a younger audience and you're okay with that, then by all means. But it was a step too far for me personally. I'm kind of surprised that the universe is still making like people who want that kind of content. And I don't mean that in an insulting way necessarily, but when I was 14, a 14-year-old's favorite movie was either a cartoon or maybe Dodgeball, a true underdog story. And now, my perception of young people is that by the age of like 12, everybody has a favorite Kurosawa film. Like the meta for like watching media has changed so much. They don't enjoy watching bullshit anymore. They go straight to like good stuff. Probably because before they watch movies, they're Googling like, what's a good intro movie to watch as someone who's never watched movies before? Does anyone have a good 6-month plan for becoming a goated cinema maxing movie enjoyer? So they're skipping, you know, defining their taste from base principles and inheriting it from like Letterboxd top users instead. But there is no pipeline like that for YouTube, man. That's why I thought the average 14-year-old was watching Let's Plays in like 2010 for sure. The average YouTube 14-year-old at least. But like, I kind of assumed by 2025 they would be watching, well, I don't know, Dropout or something like that. YouTube Shorts, dog. I'm gonna just go ahead and say it. I hate to say it because it owns my generation. YouTube Shorts are like kind of Gen Z and older coded. I didn't know until I started talking to other dudes my age. Dudes my age are watching Reels, man. It's pretty much like if you see a dude who looks like me in public and he's got his headphones in, there's only 3 things he could be listening to. One is Reels. One is podcasts about how to become a better business leader. And the other one is college sports podcast sponsored by FanDuel. Like, that's it. I'm sorry to say that to men who are approaching, or me, but you'll know if it's a fellow like me because he'll be going, who is the gaucho amigo? Why is he standing in your spangled leather poncho with the studs that match your eyes? It kind of blows my mind that a lot of y'all don't know lyrics. How can you not know lyrics, man? They're in the song that you're listening to. This is why I like to stream by myself. Because when I stream with Kory, if I know the lyrics from a song, I don't know why. Maybe one day he'll tell me where the trauma came from. He treats it like an attack on him that I know the lyrics from a song. And I don't understand. But these are songs that we both listen to, and I remember them. So I don't know why he's taking offense. You attacked him over album order? Well, I mean, bro was not listening to If You're Feeling Sinister in the order that Belle and Sebastian put it on the album, man. Like, that to me just seems like you don't get to listen to a 10 out of 10 album like that one time and then immediately go, these 3 songs go to the playlist, the rest goes on shuffle maybe, and I don't give a fuck. You digest the album, your favorites change over time, the songs flow into one another, and you remember the order. Why not? Well, because good art changes over time, man. When you sample a wine, I imagine, you don't just put it in your mouth and swallow and go, oh, add that wine to the collection. Let me update my wine.com list so everyone can see how much wine I consume and I'm a real wine head. You put it in your mouth, you fucking swish it around, and then you like breathe in through your nose or some shit like that. And then you're supposed to spit it out. But that's actually where Paul Giamatti drinks from. That's Paul Giamatti's cup. It can be nice to sample the same thing more than once. You learn some like different layers, man. I mean, the first time I listened to Gaucho, you know, I said the standout track was Time Out of Mind. What the fuck was I on, bro? It's a perfectly good song, but I'm ignoring the title track? That's why you gotta give it multiple listens. Sometimes your first impression is not quite right. Glamour Profession over Gaucho? Glamour Profession's good, man. But listen, we can't make this an Isaac episode where we just talk about Gaucho, okay? We've done that enough before. It wouldn't be Glamour Profession, though. Glamour Profession, it'd be on the only one I don't. Black Cow before it? That's not a different album! That's track 1! You would know this if you didn't go to Spotify and type in Steely Dan playlist. If you actually listen to the albums and the songs in order, you would know that Black Cow is the first fucking song off of Asia, bro. God damn it! You the kind of guy to listen intently to the server's recommended eating order? Yeah, 100%. I told you, I might be the only motherfucker on the planet that orders the specials sometimes. Everyone thinks they're beating the restaurant because they watch one episode of Kitchen Nightmares where they're like, we put the shit that's about to go bad on special. Yeah, okay, sometimes the shit that's about to go bad tastes good. I ordered the special today. I wasn't talking about burger and a beer for $11.99 on Canucks game day, okay? I'm talking about some shit I ain't ever heard of before. Give me the bouillabaisse, bitch. You're an elitist? I don't think so, bro. I'm eating chicken potato. We'll see who's a damn elitist. I'm having a baked potato and a chicken breast for lunch. All of a sudden, everybody's like, oh, do you have some fucking... Did you make your own fucking bechamel? You should make your own bechamel and put it on the chicken. Bechamel is so easy. Oh, here we go. Oh, yeah, you've had bechamel. Where'd you get the cream? Oh, the grocery store. Oh, no. Oh, no. And the flour for the roux. Oh, my God. Robin Hood flour for the roux, for your bechamel, for your chicken taters. Oh, no. I planted my own wheat and milled my own flour to make the bechamel. That's so sad for you. It doesn't even take that much work. It's not, once you've done it 5 or 6 times, it's actually really easy. It's mostly prep work. It's mostly, oh, you use a grindstone for the mill that you purchased from the 4-H, from the co-op store? Oh, I fashioned my own grindstone from granite. Oh, and where'd you get the granite? Oh, the quarry, of course. You got the granite at the quarry. Me, I went out with the pickaxe. I mined it from the hills myself. Motherfucker. That's what you sound like when you tell me to do anything. Have you ever seen Zoolander when Derek, I should say, is trying to match Hansel in the walk-off? I rewatched it last night. Did you rewatch it because we were trying to figure out whether Ben Stiller's fit, skinny, jacked, cut, or shredded? I maintain that he's jacked. And I'm not even gonna... Canonically, we know he's shredded, because I'm not gonna entertain any debate on that, because in Tropic Thunder, Robert Downey Jr. says, "You more shredded than a Julian salad." For a regular human, he's jacked. I think that's a great caveat. I'll take that. For a normal guy, he's jacked. Like, if Ben Stiller wasn't an actor, and he was your friend, and you went swimming together, you would be pissed when he took his shirt off. You would be like, fuck you, dude. Really? I wouldn't be pissed, I'd be drooling. It's too bad Ben's already put you in the friend zone. Ben's not into you in that way. He's into you more just as like in a platonic sense. Also saw some discourse online that was like, of course he's jacked, he's short. And I was like, are people actually, this is like the only time I've ever heard tall guys cope. I think it's actually harder to be jacked if you're short, because food still tastes as good, but you have to eat less of it to stay jacked because you're smaller. Like, the food tastes exactly the same, but you're not allowed to eat as much, or you won't be able to see your abs anymore. I'm short is way easier? No, bro, because like, tall guys can easily eat like a chicken tender and a half more than you per meal and have the same body fat percentage. You're not giving yourself enough credit. People are talking about shit like tendon insertion points and muscle length. Bro, you're software developers. This shit is it's not relevant for us. This shit is relevant for like 0.1% of society. What are you talking about? Tendon insertion points. I've seen some jacked shorter guys. Well, the reason it's psychologically a little easier to get jacked when you're shorter because you feel like you got something to prove and you got to work a little harder for it. So there is that. So they have a buff because they have a little bit of a nerf. That's why, like, when you see a dude who's like got Ben Stiller's build, you should be like, wow, that's awesome. But when you see a dude that's way more built than that, you should be like, oh no, this is like a, you know, the high school, middle school bully type situation. And then he said that shit is never gonna happen to me again. And they channeled all their energy into like going anabolic. Like that's more. You get sort of scared when you see a guy that's more jacked than Ben Stiller. The truest shit that Dan ever said is that when you're getting your kid ready for school in the morning, if that's on you, every minute in the morning is worth like 10 minutes in midday and maybe like 4 minutes around bedtime. It's highly optimized in the morning. If I get off the bike like 3 minutes late, it's salvageable, but I have to lock the fuck in. Like, there's no time for dilly-daddling. And to be fair, it's not impossible to wake up earlier, but I'm already waking up so early that it's kind of annoying. Like, it's kind of having deleterious effects on my family. Because if we're ever on vacation, I have to I wake up at the same time, and then I've got to fuck off. Otherwise, I'm going to be making too much noise in the damn room, wake everybody else up, like, 2 to 3 hours before it's appropriate for them to be awake, especially on vacation. I don't really want to be awake consistently like 4 hours before the rest of my family because I go to bed at the same time. So that means you end up with a really, really long day at the end of it. Like, you get pretty tired at the end. So you sleep less than them? Yeah. Well, to be fair, my daughter's 5. So she needs a lot of sleep, and my wife is beautiful, so she needs even more. You hit the skill check. I literally, you know how like if you play sports, you can visualize the sport before you play, and it gives you like 5% of the efficacy of having practiced? That's what I did. I literally said the line in my head. I imagined my vocal cords saying the words that I was going to say before I said it, so that I had already, it was like the second draft by the time it came out of my mouth. Yes, we know that's called thinking. All right. Gagged me a little bit. Favorite Pitt character so far, based on the 2.5 episodes you've seen? I've seen 1 episode. I'm gonna say middle-aged alcoholic that came into the pit with a BAC of 0.24. I've only seen him in 1 episode. I can't wait to see what happens from this point on. That's Louis. He's got a name. He's got a name. That means he probably comes back. He's in the 2nd season too. Spoilers, now I know Louis doesn't die. Fuck. Not fuck because I wanted him to die, but fuck because every time I see someone in the hospital, I'm waiting for them to be like, beep. Can we get a crash card here? By the way, I actually hate the pit. And the reason I hate the pit is that it's anti-exercise propaganda. They literally had a 31-year-old who does triathlons come in and have like 7 heart attacks in episode 1. Chill, bro. People are gonna think that shit's real. If you are 31 and you do triathlons, you are never going to die. The show is a work of fiction. Every time you do a triathlon, you're adding 2 weeks to your life. So as long as you do a triathlon within the 2-week period, you mathematically cannot pass away. Wait, when did he start watching The Pit? Apollo, I'm watching it in the liminal spaces between movies when my ride length and the movie runtime have a gap. So I'm an episode and a third into The Pit season 1 right now. And I'm enjoying it a lot. And you know what? You know what got me? I'm sure almost everybody or many people had the same reaction. But after the first episode of The Pit, I was like, damn, that's a crazy day. If that's the average day in the hospital, count me out. And then the second episode starts and it says hour 2 and you go, what? Hour 2? Oh, shit. But actually, you should be thankful for that. Because once I get through The Pit, I'm going to start being annoying to you about heated rivalry. And the best part is, it works awesome for me, because if I've watched Heated Rivalry and you haven't, and I recommend it to you and you drag your little heels, it's going to make you look problematic for not watching the gay hockey show, which is fucking funny because you're bisexual? Why the question mark? I don't know, man. To be honest, it's none of my business. If he wants to tell me, he could tell me, but otherwise, it's not really any of my business. Basically, this whole thing is an elaborate prank to possibly make a bisexual man appear to be homophobic, which I don't believe he is homophobic, which is why it's funny to make people think that he might be. Yes, I'll watch all of the gay hockey show to make it happen. It's complicated, but you got it pretty close. I'll take that. I don't know. I mean, I'm just doing what I can. Hey, Apollo, with that in mind, I watched But I'm a Cheerleader this morning. Oh, wait, you haven't seen it? You haven't seen But I'm a Cheerleader? You should really watch it. It's kind of weird that you haven't watched it, actually. But, like, as long as you watch it within the next couple of days, that would be, like, normal. It wouldn't make me think something else. Millions of diamonds, so true. Diamonds come from a mine. I go mining all the time. In my mine shaft down below. If I had my little way, I'd mine diamonds every day. Blue sparkling gemstones in the... I need another Minecraft word to go there. In the Enderman. Moving to a new base, gonna need a bunch of diamonds. I'm moving to a biome, I gotta mine a bunch of this dude, all the problem with the Minecraft parodies isn't that they suck. It's that they're all from one generation of music. If we could get some 90s fucking Minecraft parodies, I'd be all in all over again. I need gold and diamonds, yeah. Who's that making mysterious hisses in my direction? Mama, this surely is a creeper. Yeah, mama, this surely is a creeper. Could work. Dude, these items are fucking crazy. This is insane. Wood door swings. The grass waves like Herobrine. She creeps across the floor as the record plays. Okay, 1 second. Yeah. There's gotta be something there. Cobblestone's looking kinda mossy. Yeah, my glowstone keeps my house so glossy. I can't go down this time. I just need to mine. We'll figure it out. I was kind of tweaking because I got a letter, well, we got a letter from the Health Department of British Columbia that was like, hey, the school is having like a vaccination clinic soon. Here's what we have for your daughter's vaccine record. Please let us know if you'd like her to get these vaccines. And like the vaccines that they're giving out are ones that she's already had. But I just checked yes on the thing. Because I was like, surely the nurse will look at this and go, oh, but she's already had this one, let's move on. Like, I felt kind of weird that they were like leaving it up to me to look at the vaccine record and be like, does she need a re-up of the MMR vaccine? I was like, that's really... I sort of trust you guys with that information more than anything. Shouldn't you look at the vaccine record and be like, she needs this one? Because I don't really know what I'm doing. I mean, if I had to build the MMR vaccine from scratch, I wouldn't know where to even start, man. Don't you need like blue crab juice or something like that? Sea anemones? I don't know. Or eggs? You got eggs in them or something? Anyway, I think she's chill. I mean, the other thing is, I didn't want to check, no, you don't have our consent to vaccinate our daughter, and then get a call from the school that's like, hey, what gives? I thought you were chill. So if they want to juice her up with a couple extras, I mean, for me to stay clouded, it might be the right play. Juiced up son or anti-vax daughter? Oh, fuck. Oh, I hate sidestepping the question. Probably juiced up son. Because I feel like if your son is on steroids, you could at least be like, don't do steroids. You know, you work at Microsoft or something like that. And then he might be like, Dad, I need to do steroids. I'm looks maxing. And then like at least we'd be like, okay, let's just try to put this to the side and have a nice dinner or something like that, right? But I feel like anti-vax implies so many like other conversations that could easily ruin every dinner time that we ever had forever. Like, I already know if you're an anti-vaxxer, we can't talk about shit except sports. Can't even talk about the damn weather. You're gonna start telling me that you know, it's like AOC made it rain today or some shit like that. At least my son was kind of like Bane coded. He might still, you know, watch some movies or some shit like that. Anti-vax daughter gonna be talking about some shit like, you know, oh, tomatoes were different when I was a kid. Has anyone noticed tomatoes have changed? No, thank you. But also, I mean, it might happen. I hope it doesn't, but I don't have 100% control over that. I'm doing what I can. Tomatoes have changed, though. Yeah, but not in my lifetime. Like, when they were making them, you know, back in, like, the 1800s or something, I'm sure they were all sweet as fuck. But they've been red water since I was born, basically. My older brother's anti-vax end on HGH? Well, that is the other thing, is that there's like an asterisk, which is the son that's on steroids. There is like probably a higher than average chance that they are also anti-vax. But, and for those of you on steroids, which as I understand it, is probably about 10% of the men in chat right now of a certain age. I'm not suggesting you're anti-vax if you're on steroids. I'm just suggesting that I think if you took a control group and a group of guys who are on steroids, the group of guys on steroids would be more likely to be anti-vax. Now, I have no proof to back that up, but I also am not really trying to make a scientific claim. I'm just kind of shooting the breeze. No anti-vaxxers watching this? No, there's one. There's one, and I know him. Like, I don't know him IRL, but I know his handle. And I think, to his credit, I think that when he watches this stuff and I start talking about how anti-vaxxing is stupid, he mostly just sort of tunes out and like doesn't turn it into an argument, which is mature, I suppose. It is not librarian. It would be funny to say that, though. I'm not going to say who it is. It's Chiblee. To his credit? Well, I mean, it could be more annoying. Like, an anti-vaxxer who doesn't want to argue about it is better than an anti-vaxxer who wants to argue about it, because, like, I mean, we ain't convincing each other. Kind of funny to get polio in 2026? Sort of. In a manner of speaking, I suppose. I am going to be pissed off if a kid in my daughter's class gets measles. Because I know all the parents. I'm going to freak out if a kid in my daughter's class gets measles, man. We can't be having that. I guess I should fight the boss. Or smallpox. I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh because it's probably horrible, but like... If I get a note or an email from the school that's like, class is canceled because one of the kids had smallpox, I'm gonna freak the fuck out. I'm gonna lose it, man. What about Calvin? Actually, that's what's fucked up, man. You don't see nearly as much Calvin pissing on stuff anymore. It's my problem. Everyone just wants to argue these days. Nobody just wants to be like, I don't like this thing. Let me get a bumper sticker of some kid taking a piss on it. That was when, like, we had peak high trust society, man. My neighbor's truck has Calvin pissing on PETA? What? Where's Lois, man? Bro thinks the West ever had a high trust society. I think we did, man. Something went wrong. I think Facebook fucked us all, probably. Why the hell my grandma think that if there's duct tape on your car door, they're trying to, like, traffic you? Grandma... I don't know how to tell you this. I don't think anybody out in Kingston, Ontario is trying to sell you into like a human trafficking ring. Your working days are behind you. They ate, oh my God, my trinket. Grandma's seen some stuff? She did have 3 kids by like the age of 19. So I gotta cut her a little bit of slack. W grandma? Well, like, I'm pretty stoked about it because like it's a chain of events that eventually led to my existence, but I do also wish that maybe my grandma could have had like some more time to have like an independent life or whatever, but am I willing to trade the quality of her life for me being like Marty McFly out of existence? Like for me fading from every photograph that I've ever been in? No, I don't think so. Problematic? Bro, my grandpa was 19 too. Not when I was born, that would be fucking crazy, but wasn't like a track 2 on Gaucho type situation. They were high schoolers. It is kind of crazy that like, they had like a teenage pregnancy and then said, we go again. Like that's a different era, man. Nowadays, it feels like if someone gets pregnant at 16, they're like, I'm gonna simmer the last one for a little bit. Like if we're gonna have a second kid, we're not gonna be in a rush. They did sleep in separate beds for the entire time that they were both alive, that I was also alive. Which I think is sort of understandable given if you have like 3 kids with someone by the age of 19, it's probably hard to make it to the end of that without having a little resentment. I'm sorry, I can't grab the other item. I wish I could. I can't grab the other item. It would leave us on like 2 hearts. I might die. Fuck it, we go again. Yes! My grandma, I don't know what her sleep number was. My grandpa's was definitely 12. 12 beers. Nah, I'm just kidding, Grandpa. Hope you're looking down proud right now. But you did like to drink a lot, and that probably contributed to you being up there looking down right now. Which one had the crazy stories? He's still alive. Can't blame a guy for knowing how to have a good time. It's actually, like, this is a crazy fucked up thing to say, but it's literally my family, so I can say whatever I want. It's actually for the best that Granddad didn't make it to the time where you could actually, like, gamble in an online casino in Canada for real money. Because that would have been catastrophic for my grandma's finances, for sure. Like, bro was gambling too much at a time where you still had to drive like maybe an hour and a half to go to the casino. In a world where he could have just like had 3 glasses of wine and then gone to like, you know, slotmachines.ca or something, that would have been really bad. So yes, in a way I am saying rip Grandpa, you would have loved well, I'm trying to think. Well, you know, this is a huge dub. Despite watching a lot of sports, I can't conjure the name of an online slot machine right now. So basically, fuck you, all the people trying to run online casino advertisements in Canada right now. Polymarket Grandpa or AI Grandpa? I would rather have AI Grandpa. Either a grandpa that is into AI or a grandpa that is is a computer himself, I should say. The reason is, and stop me if you disagree, but I feel like the Polymarket guys always carry sort of an aura of like, I know what the world is really like. There's always like an outsider perspective that's like, I have the true lens to view the world through that the other people don't have access to. Like, I know what the world is really like, and that's why I'm willing to put money on it. And by money, I mean Ethereum. And I don't really want to deal with that attitude. I would rather have a grandpa who's like, look at these kittens, they're kissing each other or something like that. But I don't have to worry about that, because one of my grandpas is deceased, and the other one's estranged. So I'm in the best possible scenario, no grandpa. If he's estranged, just tell the story. Ain't my story to tell you, bro. It's fucked up because it means we're all waiting for your grandpa to die. Well, you were already waiting for it. You just didn't know. Like, we're all gonna die. Sorry to bring up that old chestnut. One of my favorite jokes. But like, we're all waiting for everybody to die. This is just a situation where like, when someone dies, you're gonna get a pretty funny story. It's one of the funniest stories I have, but it's also because I know the guy. So it won't be, I feel very confident it will still be funny for you, but it won't be as funny for you as it is for me, because I know the guy. I'm not waiting for you to die? Okay, but that sounds, when you put it that way, that sounds like a threat. It sounds like you're threatening my life when you say it like that. He broke his eye. That seems pretty bad. He broke his orbital bone? Oh, that's right. An exercise band snapped and hit him in the eyeball. That's fucked up, man. That's... That's a horrible injury. Broke his eye socket on a snapped weight band. Oh, I guess I'll be fucking dead then. Greg, what a great game! What a great game where they don't give you any items that do any damage. Oh, boo-hoo. Don't give me that Matthew Stafford nonsense. I shouldn't have picked up Mom's knife, man. Stupid mistakes. I'm not gonna do Senatordle. Maybe I will do Senatordle. I'm gonna say it. Yellow tie. Yellow tie means you're a Democrat. You are a Republican. That. Oh, whoa! Richard Blumenthal, I apologize. Maroon tie, Democrat. I'm going to say it. You are smiling instead of showing just complete resolve. I think you're a Democrat. That's fucking Tim Kaine, bro. Blue jacket. Got to be a... Okay, that's Lisa Murkowski. You have Chicago energy. Chicago is in Illinois, a blue state. You're a Republican. That's a given. You have a Mormon family YouTuber haircut. You're obviously a Republican. This is an interesting one. It's the same state as the fella from 2 ago. I think you're a Republican, though. It is Virginia, though. Kind eyes, but I think you're a Republican. All right, so we know for sure where chat's going on this. I'm going Democrat, though. Fuck. You're a Republican. That's Adam Schiff. Why do I know all these people? You're a Republican? I need to get one of these jackets, man. Why is it that only women of a certain age get to wear this cool-ass jacket? No, you do not. Come on. I want the fucking thread or tweed jacket. The Jackie Kennedy fit. We need to make it at least ambiguous. There needs to be like this version of the jacket for men that you can wear to be like, I'm swagged up and I'm a man of a certain age. All we got is the fucking quarter zip, bro. I think you're a Democrat. A very curious one. Very, but I'm a cheerleader type energy. I think you're a Democrat. John, you're a Democrat. This is Chuck Schumer, bro. Why is when Chuck Schumer gives you the look? There's no shot. Okay, again. This is Christmas Adventurer's haircut. Whoa, you gotta change that! You're a Democrat, obviously. Fake tan. Blue tie. Guys, I'm getting my ass beat. No shot. No. I almost fell backwards out of my chair and it's got wheels on it. How the fuck does that happen? Republican. Okay, let's be serious. You're Josh Hawley. You're a Republican. I had to do. Okay, all right. What are we doing here? You're a Republican. I know you. I think this is. You're a Republican. I've gone from clicking everyone Democrat to everyone Republican. You're a Republican. You're a Democrat. I'm just going to go with it. First instinct, you're a Republican. First instinct will get me. You're The necklace is very used bookstore coded. You're a Democrat. You are a Republican. Sorry, Patty. You're a Democrat. You're hiding something. You're hiding that you're a Republican. That's Bernie Sanders. He's an independent. Okay. You're a Democrat. That's Deb. You have serious Republican energy. There's just something. We have entered a fucked up world where if you are a politician in your 20s, you are now guaranteed to be a Republican. I don't know when it happened, but it used to be that if you were young, you were a Democrat, and if you were old, you were a Republican, but there's been a complete inversion of the norm. I'm going to say blue suit Democrat. I'm going to buck the norm. I'm going to say Democrat. Sorry, Eric. You're a Democrat. That's Republican coded. Sorry. His name's Sheldon Whitehouse. That's Republican, 100%. We don't even have to think about that. I think you're a Republican. 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 I know you're a Republican Canadian. I think you're a Democrat. Okay? It's got to be Republican. I think you're a Democrat. Wait, guys, I can do this. I'm locking in. Republican? This is the Dairy Queen guy. You're a Democrat. I can do this. I'm choosing to lock in right now. You're obviously Republican. You're a Democrat. You're a Republican. Why was I even thinking about this one? I don't know what to do on this one. I think you're a Republican. Angus S. King Jr.? Jr.? You're a Republican. You're a Republican. You're a Democrat. You're a Democrat. This is Marie. Marie would be a Democrat. Red tie with elephants on it. You're a Republican. Red jacket. It's got to be Republican. I mean, if they said she was the Hawaiian senator, I would know, man. Democrat. Yes, right. We knew that one. You got... I'm so sorry. I should not be saying this, bro. He's got Gmod face. He's got Gmod face. I don't know what to say. He does. He's got a little skibbity in him. I think you're a Democrat. You are a Democrat. You're a Republican. Don't do me dirty like this. You got something in your damn teeth, man. Pete Ricketts. Was she leaning back, casual ass? You're the one who keeps making the joke about Trump's hair 8 years ago. I remember that. So what is it? Mine's not gonna blow off in the wind. You're a Democrat. You're a Republican. Obviously Republican. You strike me as a Democrat. You got a little Ted Danson in you. I'm going to say Democrat. I'm going to say Republican. I'm going to say Democrat. I don't feel bad about that one. That one could go either way. You're a Democrat. You're Republican coded. That was an either or. I'm going to say you're a Democrat. Blue clothes. I think you're a Democrat too. You just don't know it yet. Republican. Guys, how many senators are there in America. How long is this going to go on for? 100. Okay, I can do that. I can lock in. You're a Republican. You're a Democrat. Republican. Democrat. That's Republican. Ruben, we have to get Ruben a stylist. We have to get Ruben a stylist. He has the Republican hair and the Republican beard. We have to. That's not okay, man. He catfished me. He donkey fished me, man. Oh, because he's from Arizona. I see. This Republican. Sorry, Kristen. Republican. Democrat. Let's say Republican. Let's say Democrat. Let's say Republican. Let's say Republican. Ted Budd. Let's say Democrat. Let's say Republican. Let's say Democrat. Alan Alda. He's giving Peter Griffin right now. He's hitting a little Griffin face. I think he's a Democrat, man. Mike Crapo. Say Democrat. 63%. Say this is the same fella. We looped through, man. We looped through. Not bad for a Canadian. Should do the same. They should make one for Canadian Parliament MPs. I would get way lower. First off, there's probably 5 political parties with representation in the House of Commons. But we don't have like a Mar-a-Lago face thing going on up as much up here yet, but I'm sure it's coming. There's kind of like a Mar-a-Lago face for men too. It's the short beard that's like not quite a chin strap, and then the hair can go a couple of different ways. One is like the Don Jr. The other one is just like a really close crop, or bald also, and veneers every time. Anyway, I'm gonna send you over to my live stream because it's time for chicken potato, bro. I will see you tomorrow, and I hope you have a great day. Bye. Millions of diamonds, so true. Diamonds come from a mine. I go mining all the time. In my mine shaft down below. If I had my little way, I'd mine diamonds every day. Blue sparkling gemstones in the Enderman. Moving to a new base. Gonna need a bunch of diamonds. I move into a biome, I gotta mine a bunch of this dude, the problem with the Minecraft parodies isn't that they suck. It's that they're all from one generation of music. If we could get some 90s fucking Minecraft parodies, I'd be all in all over again. I need gold and diamonds, yeah. Who's that making mysterious hisses in my direction? Mama, this surely is a creeper. Yeah, mama, this surely is a creeper. Good work. Wood door swings. The grass waves. Like Herobrine, she creeps across the floor as the record plays. Okay, 1 second, yeah. Cobblestones looking kinda mossy. Yeah, my glowstone keeps my house so glossy. I can't go down this time, I just need to mine.